am furious about this next shooting, this man, cold blood, right on the street in front of a donut shop. By the way, that particular donut shop was in the neighborhood that I lived in when I lived in Minneapolis for a few years before moving to Colorado Springs, and I know that area well. It's Eastern, and how horrifying for the people who had to see that. And, anyway, as some of you might know, I published the Utley Post, which was just a fun project for me to write about current events, and political events and all the things that I'm interested in, but from a progressive Christian, perspective. And when I started this Substack a year ago, almost a year ago, I could have never imagined that this is what I would be writing about. Um, I think God calls us, and I do believe that, and I think for whatever reason, here I am. Uh, but I have to tell you, this has to stop. I mean, I know that there has been, a lot of the supporters, past supporters and current supporters of Donald Trump. I mean, I can't imagine anyone thinking that this is a good idea or that this is not who we are. So I don't want to stay on here long. I have like literally two people watching. That's okay. That's pretty cool. But I'm new at this, so anyway, I jumped in to do this, because I care and because I know that area, I know the people, and I can't even imagine. If you read the Atlantic Post, I did write, a very personal, story about my granddaughter who lives in St. Paul, and she lived in a house where she shared the house with roommates, and two of her roommates, were Hispanic or are Hispanic, excuse me. And, they were visited by ICE, and, ICE no one answered the door. I wouldn't either, by the way. But I guess that the ICE, agents were talking to neighbors and getting information. Anyway, a day or two later, my granddaughter's roommate's parents were abducted by ICE. That's a going on. My granddaughter then, we have relocated her to a safer spot. The house that she was living in, really kinda cool. It was somewhat dilapidated though, but, they held a lot of, songwriters, activists, um, they would hold it was a venue in Minneapolis, St. Paul, actually, and I think it was called the Center Store. It's on Facebook. They have a Facebook page. And they would have these little concerts, and people would come from all over, and they'd raise money for humanitarian causes, particularly the Palestinian Gaza sort of issue. They would adopt a Palestinian family, for example, and raise money to help that family. And, uh, um, I'm we feared as a family, my granddaughter's that house that she was living in, and this was literally, like, le less than a week after Renee could. So we were worried for her. Um, so she is now in a secure building, and, she felt bad that she had to leave her roommates. Some of them decided to stay. Some, didn't really have the option to relocate and to move. And I think that's the sad part of and that's privilege, isn't it? It's kinda white privilege for us to be able to have the resources and to be able to quickly, kinda mobilize and get our granddaughter out of there. So, and there are other, young people and a lot of people who don't have the to do that, and, we pray for them, and, so I will be joining just to let you guys know, I'm in Colorado Springs. I be a local group here. I'll be on a Zoom call on, the 29th of January. Faith Coalition, just like they're doing in Minneapolis, St. Paul, to, um, to confront this issue. So it's what we do as human beings, and it's what we do as Christians. So, and it's what we can do. Gangster grandma. So, anyway, so Carly, you are my only person in the chat. I adore you. No idea who you are, but I love you. Personal reflection, but, and I'll be doing a Substack live with my friend Brian Kennedy, who has a Substack called, Conversations with a Mayor. He's a mayor of a mid-sized town in Minneapolis, very involved in Democratic politics. I've kind of, I felt a little angry with Democrats, so I'm becoming more of an independent, but I'll always vote Democrat, so that's I think one time I voted for Ralph Nader. Anyway, I pray for the family of this young man. There goes my dog. I pray for the family of this young man or this man. I pray for his soul. I pray for the people who had witnesses. I pray for his family. I pray for the people of Minneapolis. God have mercy on the agents. I mean, they've got to live with them. Don't get it. So, uh, anyway, so with this, I'm going to say goodbye, but you won't hear the last of me. And I do have a granddaughter in Minneapolis. I did live there. My son lived there. His partner Tim grew up there. They live in Vermont now. His brother currently lives there. We have family there. It's very disturbing, to be quite honest. And let's just all, do what we can to help the people of Minneapolis and to pray that God protects the people who immigrant families. I mean, you know, just being torn up. That's all it is. A dirt. And goodbye.